the Aussie Gooner, Steve.
Would it be a show without me?
It would be, but you know.
No, it wouldn't be good, but.
I was scraping the bottom of the barrel, so I had no one else.
Barrel blow, you need some fucking vibes, man. That's where you get me in here, bro.
Okay. So you're the Drake of YouTube, apparently.
No,
Everyone's
not
after
Drake.
you now.
No, I ain't Drake. I'm the Mike Tyson of YouTube. I just fucking hurt people.
Mike Tyson, you reckon? It's Mike Tyson.
Violent man.
I've got KG in the building, Mr.
Back
DFO.
from DFO.
Back from DFO.
Back
Finally
from
made
DFO.
it. It finally made it.
Didn't bring me my gloves, did ya?
Nah.
No gloves.
We'll talk about that later.
But guys, we got 3 special guests on the couch.
Live in the studio.
Live in the
Love
studio.
it.
The boys from It's a Football Thing podcast. Boys, welcome to the show. I know we've got Scotty too hotty that he's always here. He's not in the pink kit.
Nah, it's coming. It's coming, my man.
It's on its way.
It'll be here soon.
This guy's cronky out. All of a sudden, he's buying the kits. But, you know, Scotty's
And
here.
the pink ones of all, bro. Like, no one's going to
as
be
well.
buying that one, but he's getting in there.
I thought it was Tillerman's on the pink one. We're still waiting for the confirmation
Soon.
though.
Oh,
Soon,
fuck,
yeah?
mate. Yeah, I'm
Soon.
telling you.
It's coming.
We've got the Red Devil, Robbie, in the building. What's going on, Robbie?
Mate, great to be here at our Football Capital headquarters. Looking forward to it, mate.
You thought you were going to come for an F1 show. It's not the podcast. You came in the wrong.
That's another day, mate.
wrong
That's another day.
Can we do a
Snooze
trade?
fest.
We'll get the United boy over here and send
this guy
send
on.
Arsenal boy over
Where's
there.
RJ going to
Londoners.
go? Where's RJ going to go?
Well, the Londoners going to get
straight to another Club World Cup victory, boys. That's what the real trophies. That's what we're all about. Forget Premier League and all that business. It's all about Club World Cup.
Here we go.
Club World Cup, the Champions League, and all the big boy trophies.
No Champions Leagues over here.
Over here, we're trying to find any sort of trophy. What trophy did we win? We won the Bangkok Cup.
Bangkok Cup. That's
What did you
right.
guys win?
Mate.
That was the
Oh,
Florida
they've
Cup.
got the Florida Cup
Florida
and the Audi
Cup,
Cup
mate.
the other day.
All
or
the
something.
heavies.
The Emirates Cup.
Emirates
just
Cup.
to
But
let
you
you
see,
know.
our trophy had lights, fireworks, music.
Bro, no
a
way,
stadium.
man. No
It
shit.
was one
They
of
had
them.
The whole thing happening, bro.
Hey, look,
It's going to be a big season. Big season.
It could probably make me a coffee, eh? Shit, I want that trophy, man.
but look, guys, we're here to speak the Premier League and the new season 22-23, the Premier League review. Boys, where do we start here? Because 21 is obviously coming, so I didn't want it to be a short pod. I don't want the short show.
Boy just had the deposit on the bus.
I've had the deposit since Ronaldo signed. The bus was here. The bus parade was booked and everything. But where do we start, boys? Look, let's go. I want to go with Manchester City and Liverpool. Wow. I think there's a general consensus that they're the two teams that are going to be up there once again. Some players have moved from both clubs. Mane being one from Liverpool, obviously Sterling and Jesus from Manchester City. But the recruitment with Haaland coming in, obviously Alvarez for Manchester City, Darwin Núñez for Liverpool, and I think they've got Fabio Carvalho from Fulham that's come in. But boys, where do we see these two teams? Are they the two teams again going to be maybe above the rest of the pack? Is everyone else going to be chasing? I'll go to you boys across over there. What do you guys reckon?
General consensus is they're the two best teams. I think we're probably all going to agree on that. You look at the recent history, you look at where these guys are at, look at the recruitment, look at the managers. It's hard to argue against. I don't know. I know, Robbie, you're a big Liverpool fan.
Yeah, my favourite club.
It's hard to go past Liverpool and City, though. I mean,
Look, if you look at the past 2-3 seasons, I think Liverpool's maybe lost 5 games in 3 seasons. So they've really set the bar high. City, we know the money comes in. They've obviously lost a couple of players or they've knocked off a few players down to Arsenal there. But look, they're bringing their big marquee signing of Mr. Haaland. So we'll see if he hits the ground running or not.
Yeah, you know what as well? I think with Liverpool, Mane, people have mixed views about what he brings, what he doesn't bring. I think he's a top quality player. I think Bayern Munich's done a great job in getting him. But that said, not a Liverpool fan by any means, but what they've done with their recruitment strategy over the last few years, the stability and the platform they've given Klopp, bringing in the quality that they've brought in to replace him. They might start off a little bit slow, but based on what we saw in the Community Shield, they're going to hit the ground running, and I dare say they're probably slightly ahead of City. I know it's early, but that's what I think is going to happen.
man.
I agree too. I watched a bit of the Charity Shield the other night, and I got the vibes of when we got Ronaldo, how, even when he was like Juve, he was very a focal point of the team, and I feel like everything's got to go through Haaland now. So I think it's going to take a little bit of time to adjust as well to that City team.
Yeah. Let's not forget Arsenal beat Liverpool in the Charity Shield a couple of seasons ago, and what happened there?
That worked out well.
Worked out well. So,
But I agree with the sentiment.
Yeah.
Around Mane. There is debate around, sort of, some people were like, oh, would you rather keep Salah or would you rather keep, Sadio Mane? And there's always been that debate. And obviously they secured Salah. For me, I would probably kept Mane, to be honest. I thought he did a lot more for Liverpool, brought a lot more to Liverpool over the last couple of years. But you're right, they've recruited well. And more surprisingly for me with Man City is I thought they let go of too many players.
Yeah,
I think one too many. I think the big one is for me.
Left as well as
he didn't secure his spot. But for me, like I know it's probably not the most talked about, but I think the best one and landed in Arsenal's favour was Zinchenko. Like for me. I saw games where he didn't start games. I think it was the 3-2 comeback win. He wasn't starting. I think they played Fernandinho as centre back, and then they shifted. They pulled Fernandinho out.
Brought him off the bench.
They brought him off and they brought Zinchenko in, and he just changed that game for them in terms of going forward. And I think he's an Arsenal fan from memory, from boyhood. I saw one of his interviews.
I knew there was something wrong about him.
But I think he's going to be a good signing for Arsenal, and I think Man City's going to lose out a little bit in that position.
Steve, mate, sticking to Man City, don't go straight to Arsenal because I know
we talk Man City. Like Man City's always been a team that struggles early on. Like every time the season starts off, they struggle, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is it. This is going to be the season that Man City falls in their face." But they always start slow, and all of a sudden they become consistent. They start gelling and they finish off a season strong. Now Liverpool, to be honest, they've drawn first blood. They've done the business, but I don't think we write Manchester City off, mainly because quality in manager, quality in players. I think Haaland is going to take time to transition, but with Pep Guardiola and the players around him, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a match made in heaven. Now, I don't think, though, everything's going to go through Haaland, mainly because Manchester City aren't a team that just focuses on one player. This is a team that played without a striker and shared their goals around.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that will continue. It just adds that extra dynamic to their attack where it's like instead of worrying about the wings, now we've got to worry about Haaland as well.
Yeah. Do you guys think that losing someone like maybe Sterling?
Yeah.
Jesus... Yeah, you could say Jesus, but they didn't really play him to his strength. To his strength, really. Anytime they was he had Aguero there next to him, he was meant to break through, but you can't just replace someone like Aguero. And we might say a little bit with Richarlison now at Tottenham, where it's Harry Kane or really no one else. Let's be honest, in that starting role. Now with Sterling gone. And we see Haaland coming in, and even with Liverpool and City, we haven't seen them play with this focal point number 9 with Darwin and now Haaland. Do you think it's going to take time for them to adjust to that sort of system, playing to their strength, or is it more so the player has to now adapt to the systems of Klopp and Pep?
I think it's a bit of both, though. And if you look at the two, because you're right, they both brought in guys who are going to play a pivotal role in their attack, in Darwin and Haaland. I do think Liverpool as a squad, Klopp as a manager, are probably better equipped, though, to transition someone in as that focal point, because we've seen Liverpool still play with Firmino up there, kind of leading that line. They've still played with a striker. They didn't quite dive in the way that City did. So I do think Liverpool as a club are probably more ready to accommodate a new focal point. But at the same time, Haaland is top tier. All right, let's forget the Charity Shield the other day. We know that this guy's top tier. We know that he's a guy who's going to be playing really well for many years. So I just think it's going to be so tight between both.
Top tier, but not Premier League proven yet. And we've seen big players come in before for big money, and they haven't hit the ground running. So same with Darwin, 80 million, whatever, from Benfica. He scored a couple of good goals in the Champions League. And look, I always say Haaland, he's Champions League proven, but again, Premier League is a different thing. It's aggressive. Everyone was talking about our centre back the other day. Oh, he's 5'9". We all seen what happened in the Champions League when there was Ajax and Dortmund there, and he had him in his pocket all day.
Tell him. Who did he have on his ass?
That's what I mean. So
let him know.
It's just it is a different thing.
Watch
just
out.
One game the other day, that City game, and everything they tried to pass to him every single time. And I think he's going to feel the pressure of, hey, I'm the number 9 now of the striker at City. I've got to put a lot of my play and I've got to score goals because I've heard people coming out saying this guy's going to score 30 goals in his first season. So a lot of pressure.
But look what Guardiola was saying too. Yeah, he didn't play his best game, obviously. They didn't win, missed a couple of big chances, but he clearly said he also found himself in good positions. He was making the right run. So you just think with a player of his calibre and his standard, he will get on top of that pretty quickly. I think the adjustment period for someone like Haaland won't take too long, but I'm more concerned or more interested about their outgoings. Zinchenko, you brought up, was a good one.
Sterling.
But he's a peripheral figure for the most part. Jesus, another quality player. We've seen what he can do against us in pre-season. Quality player, but on the periphery for City. Sterling was the City's top goal scorer under Guardiola for a very long time. The interchangeability and fluidity he brings left, right, through the middle, I've watched a lot of him. How they adjust to life post-Sterling is going to be a really intriguing sub-point. So I know from a Chelsea point of view, I know when I talk to Chelsea, but I can already see the quality he's brought in a few games. Conversely, what does that do to City? So it's going to be fascinating.
Yeah, because then you expect maybe Grealish to come in and take maybe them.
Foden, Grealish.
Foden and all that. That's right. But I think a lot of people maybe... I don't know if it's the media or what, but I just don't think Sterling gets the credit that he really deserves. Because really, if you look at the Euros, he carried majority. All right, when I say carried, he scored pretty much all their goals, and everything that was exciting about the England team was usually Sterling was involved or Sterling was part of it. To be honest, I think if Chelsea get their house in order a little bit in terms of signings and who they bring in, with Sterling in that squad and that system, I think that system suits Sterling a bit more than it does to Manchester City. Manchester City, for me, it's a bit pass, whereas City final third get creative. We've seen it with when Hazard was there. I know Tuchel wasn't the manager, but it's kind of that almost a DNA thing where it's like final third get creative. You saw it even with Willian back in the day, and now with Havertz, and you see it with Mason Mount a little bit as well. And I know Timo Werner, there's a lot of questions, but him in that final third at times as well gets over the shoulder of the defender and he's got the pace.
I thought you were about to say over the goal because that's where most of his shots go. Over the goal.
He goes every single. He wants to hit the post. Crossbar challenge for Werner. But I just think.
Is that the Champions League winner, Werner? Yeah, so it's all right. Don't worry about it.
Havertz goes for bins. Werner goes for bar. It's all good, bro.
It doesn't matter how he goes in or out, but it goes out. But I just think Sterling in that Chelsea team will make a big difference, and I think it is a big loss for Manchester City. And I know, look, they got Kevin Phillips or Calvin Phillips in, and possibly Cucurella might be coming in.
Brighton's playing hardball with that 50 million, and at the moment they're saying no at the moment. So that's the thing. They sold Zinchenko and they haven't brought someone in yet. So at the moment it's Kyle Walker. Then he's another year older. Yeah, he's still got his pace, but he looks not defensively sound at the moment either.
Well, Brighton have stood their ground on Cucurella. They're saying you either pay us or forget about the whole damn thing. And I think Cucurella is I think he's happy where he is. He'll move on, but you can see he's a very passionate player. And when you see him play, it's like it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be forcing a move. It's not a kind of player.
I'm sure Barca's going to come in for him sooner or later, like along with Bernardo Silva. He's been linked as well.
But do you guys think, in terms of these two teams, if they're not to win the league or to drop out of that first or second spot, where do you think is their Achilles heel? Where would it be? Where would you guys think? For me, for Liverpool, at the moment, they don't have a goal-scoring midfielder. There's no one really there that's going to score you goals. You look at every time there's a winning champions of England, you look at their teams, someone in the midfield, especially of recent times. Even back in the day, you got, obviously, Frank Lampard was one of them. You got other teams at Arsenal that are contributing to goals, pivotal to goals. I just don't see Liverpool, Henderson, Thiago. Yeah, he's probably their best midfielder, but the output, I don't think it's enough for them to get over the line. Do you guys see any deficiencies in that department for both teams that they might not win the league?
For me personally, no. Liverpool have won the league in the past few seasons without goals coming from midfield. That how many goals are in that front three? You have to remember was that
the case because Kevin De Bruyne was injured for City that season?
Possibly. Lots of question marks we'll never get the answer to. But they've got Jota as well. Everyone's forgetting about him. He came in. He's injured at the moment. They've got Diaz, who I think was a great buy last season. You know, obviously, Darwin for me is not going to start. I think Firmino will still start in that system at the start of the season.
Change the fantasy team around.
Yeah. He's gonna. I think he's gonna be embedded.
One second, boys.
Yeah, he'll come in slowly,
Pause
the
on this,
Darwin
yeah.
guy. And then, I think it's going to take him a few games. He's not going to get thrown in there. I think he'll start with his normal front three, Diaz, Firmino, Salah. And then as the season goes on, they'll start embedding him. Champions League is going to come in. A lot of games this year. We'll keep thinking. And the five sub rules, man. That's going to be a big thing in the game as well.
That is key.
5 subs. Klopp and Pep will make 1 sub a game and then complain because the games are too close to each other.
But I think, to the Liverpool point, their defenders get goals. I think you got to remember Trent, even Robertson, and Van Dijk in the air, at a corner is always always going to chip in. So I think you're right. Probably from the midfield they don't get as many as other teams do, but I think they're a lot of especially if you're talking fantasy, a lot of people will be picking Trent up there, And trying to get them in the team. So it's going to be a tough one. Achilles for City. I think you saw it towards the back end of last season. They were leaking goals.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's where their problem's going to be. If they're that team that has to outscore everybody.
We should try give him that clip Harry Maguire's agent put out to City.
Yeah, why not?
And see if we can get a move on the card.
Why not? But
the highlight reel.
Nonetheless, I think they're still.
You will, won't you?
I still think they're the top 2 teams in the league in terms of they're going to finish first and second. But I think the gap is going to close a little bit. In my opinion, I think
the gap's 1 point, Kev.
What? No, sorry, not between them two. Between them two and the rest. I think I think the recruitment.
Getting there.
I was thinking half.
There's hope.
I actually think the recruitment from a lot of the teams following them has been pretty solid. Like I even look at Arsenal, I look at Tottenham, I look at Chelsea. I think they're still doing a lot of business. Obviously, United's going to take some time, but I think the gap will start to close. Well, I don't think you won't see the 5-0 City vs Arsenal game that we saw at the start of last season. You won't see those kind of results really happen between the top, say, 4 or 5. I'm excluding United at the moment because we're in that rebuild. But I just think, I just think that the gap will close a little bit, and it won't be so easy for the top 2 teams. But they are going to be those teams that everyone's looking at going, they're going to finish top 2, and let's disrupt it a little bit.
I think as well, boys, we've got to factor in depth is going to be vital this season. Now, I think when we look at the teams, and I know we're going to talk about not just the top 2, but the others soon enough, that gap between your starting 11 and your bench players, that's going to be huge this season. We've got a World Cup coming up. They're going to play in a country that's going to be hotter than what they're used to. They've got all that travel in them. The World Cup's intense. And then a very short turnaround to switch off from an intense World Cup to come back into a Premier League season in the latter end of the season. So I think that's going to play a big thing. And I look at City, and I know they've got very good players and they've got a manager who's elite. I just would be worried as a City fan that they've let too much go too quickly. I don't want to go back down the Sterling path, but he was very pivotal for them, and Zinchenko, Jesus, they've just let a lot go, and I do worry a bit about their depth.
They're proven players. They're proven.
But you've got to think of it this way. But at the end of the day, City's the kind of team that when they come in for a play, they usually come in, get it done. It's like it's one day they're linked with them, 2 days later they've got them, and it's business quick.
Because they've got that side money, the extra sponsorships here and there.
But it's good too, they don't drag it on either, even with the outgoings. If a good player says, look, I want to go somewhere, fine, as long as we get the right money for you, we've got your blessing, sort of thing. And that's what's good business, rather than some of our clubs, they make a big song and dance about it. You waste half a transfer.
I think it's a bit different. Like with Man United and Arsenal, let's just say, for example, there's a process, there's a rebuild. At Chelsea now, there's a bit of a ownership thing of what's happening, the structures. It's a lot of uncertainty. Where at City, I'm guaranteed a trophy. You're walking into that club and you already know that I'm going to win something. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that's the difference between the clubs there. But let's move on to Chelsea, where they're going to finish. 3rd last season, almost bottled 3rd, because Arsenal will creep in. Arsenal were going to get 3rd, weren't they, for a bit? Where'd you guys end up?
17th.
Almost. Might as well.
The the relegation battle, mate.
Yeah, look, Chelsea, new ownership, got some players have left the club, so some decent players as well. RJ, what's going on? You're chasing players. Barca's coming and saying no. You guys were in for someone the other day. I think you guys were in for
Kunde.
Nah, not Kunde, another defender.
Was he
Skriniar?
linked to Juventus or something? Because that's the only way they're going to be in for him.
Skriniar
Nah,
for a while
nah,
as
it
well.
was-
Milan Skriniar is going to Paris Saint-Germain, so I guarantee that you'll be linked for him.
Loves him. This guy is his
We're
fanboy.
into him, I know that.
There was
Oh, he's a great
top
player.
player.
who's the other defender that you guys are in for at the moment?
Kimpembe, wasn't it?
Kimpembe.
Yeah,
No, but it's one of them.
Pavard
You see
as
the
well.
rumor. You see the rumor of him linked to Chelsea, and it's like Barcelona have liked this post. You're like, fuck. What's
how you
happening,
know.
RJ? What's happening at your club? Because you're trying to get signings in. All right, we spoke about Raheem Sterling. My opinion, is a very good signing.
Quality.
Other than that,
KK, man. Koulibaly.
That's
yeah,
right.
Koulibaly, yeah, he's just come in. He's just come in.
We've got
31-year-old. Does he
yeah.
got the legs?
Would've been
Oscar
get it-
Pistorius FC.
Better
He
to
might
get
not,
him
he might
earlier.
not catch up here.
It's better to get this player earlier. Like Koulibaly, he's a great player, but
Yeah,
31
but you
years
never
old.
know.
He'll
You
be
still,
sweet.
you never
3
know
years
because
ago,
yeah, but
Primo.
yeah, but look at
We've been
Silva,
chasing
bro.
for
Look
6
at
years.
Thiago Silva. Like,
Bloody
Rolls
hell.
Royce, mate. He is.
yeah, he's still going as well.
But you've got players returning as well. Like I just
The
think
whole world.
I think about Chilwell,
The
right?
15,000 on loans they have.
Gallagher as well.
More
Yeah,
loans
Conor
than the
Gallagher.
bank system, I know. But look, honestly, for me, the quality who we've signed, undisputed. Sterling, top quality, Premier League proven. Koulibaly, arguably the best defender in Serie A over the last decade. You could argue Chiellini, of course, but generally speaking, he's been phenomenal for Napoli. Could we have got him a bit earlier? Sure, but I'm glad we got him at a pretty reasonable cost. Lost Rudiger, Christensen, big holes to fill, big shoes to fill. But I think it's broader than that. We need a couple more players, particularly with our aging midfield profile. The forwards, as you know, we've been struggling in that department for some time. Timo Werner, technically speaking, hasn't got the cut. Hakim Ziyech, very rocks and diamonds. Mason Mount's been one of our most consistent players. I'm really liking what he's been bringing. But I just think, even with Kai Havertz, as I said to you, gents, earlier, I don't know what Kai Havertz is at the moment. Great player, hasn't
doesn't
quite
know.
found himself. So we don't have stability in a profile in that front three. Luckily, Sterling will come in and help bridge the gap somewhat. But we need at least another 2 to 3 signings. I don't know if we'll have enough time during this window. And because of that, I'm a bit concerned about the battles we're going to have to try to lock down that third spot. I honestly think the battle for fourth is real and it's opening. I look at us as a really good competitive cup team. Can we maintain it over a 38-game season? Like last season, Chilwell and Reece James were instrumental to the way we attacked along the width of the field. One of those two goes down again, put the queue in the rack, because we're in massive trouble. So, yeah, look, I'm a pretty optimistic kind of guy, but I'm also pretty realistic. I'm glad that we've got Conor Gallagher back. I'm glad we've got youngsters like Levi Colwill, who tore it up at the championship last season. But as we know with Tuchel, he's asked for more control. We've got no director of football because Marina's gone. Petr Cech's gone. New ownership, chasing our tails because of the sanctions. Todd Boehly and co, they've got a lot of work to do in a very short space of time. So, look, not feeling great about it, but at the end of the day, it could be a lot worse. People making it a little bit more hysterical than what it needs to be.
You know what? Like,
Go, Steve.
I have
Do
to-
it.
I have to do
Throw
this.
it at
Like,
him,
I
mate.
got
Go.
to fucking take on
Better
this.
sit up for this one.
Just sit the fuck down, bro. You love this.
Sit down, sit down,
You've got
sit down,
you've got your new owner, right? He's come in.
Come on.
This fucking prick's come in, right? And he's come at you like a fucking sledgehammer. Axing Petr Cech, axe, just chopping out people as far as the eye can see.
He's done it. Mbappe. He's made himself football director.
I'm telling you, man.
a
You know,
scout.
he's going to go. He's going to the NBA and telling
Still
me he's going
waiting
to
for
fucking
his
sign.
invite for dinner. Took out everybody else
Yeah,
for dinner,
took
but
everyone
us
else.
lads.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not surprised they're not linked with NBA.
Because you know why? You know why we didn't get the invite? Because this guy's talking shit. If he was a bit nicer,
No, look.
There's not an owner. This Steve hasn't gone at.
Now
yet.
hold on, you crashed the Man City title party. If Steve can
Yeah,
get
but
in
that's
there,
Sheikh Mansour. Sheikh
they don't
Mansour.
have
Sheikh
fans.
Mansour.
Hang on,
Friend
that
of
was
mine.
he was bought just +1.
So I look at Chelsea at the moment, and look, last 20 years, undisputed, these guys have been a great team. And let's call a spade a spade. 20 years they've been dominant. Abramovich era is now over. I look at your new owner at the moment, and I have a problem where it looks like he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. right? I swear to you, he's an owner. Yeah, it's all about dollars and cents. I understand this. Why don't you allow the people that understand football to control the club like they were before, doing their job? Give it a season, right, before you start chopping heads. But the way he's approached your club, he's come in, chopped heads, right? You've got gaps in your squad. You've got Thomas Tuchel going, well, why am I surprised? Why am I not surprised with the results? Because it's the same players. So he's obviously not happy. You've got gaps in the midfield. You've got gaps in the defence. You've got a gap on the right wing. You're getting rid of Hakim Ziyech. You've got no one to put in, right? And now we're looking at your
Canyon, mate. Just everyone's there.
I'm looking at your club and I'm thinking to myself, what has this American done? Like, this is a team that was built by Roman Abramovich, taken to a height. He's come in, and in less than 2-3 months, or less than 2 months, he's gutted it. Like, he's got to pull his head in. I know he's American and he wants to cowboy it, but come on, mate. Like, you fucking just take his club out of the knees.
He's waiting for the
Steve
draft
an
system.
Arsenal fan? Like, I thought he'd be happy.
Well, I'm just letting...
He wanted the other guys, the Ricketts, to buy the club. He wanted the Ricketts to buy it. He was cheering for that.
The Ricketts were fucked. The Crickets, oh, mate. I knew they'd fuck their club. All right, I didn't know this guy would fuck it.
Todd Boehly is waiting for the draft to come in.
Oh, yeah.
He's waiting for the draft system.
Yeah,
he's like, where's this draft system coming? I'm waiting. What's this transfer window about?
I
don't think he's used to it.
What the fuck is pay for players?
I thought we were going to just swap him over.
Yeah.
We got rid of Lukaku. Where's my Ronaldo?
Yeah.
He's not coming. What's going on?
Not for free anyway. Yeah.
But you know what, boys? Jokes aside, and I know.
No jokes aside,
I'm sitting
keep
next to him.
jokes.
I can feel it. Like, I can feel the heart rate's getting up. You can see he's sweating a bit because he's nervous. He won't say it.
But I know he's got the shits at this owner. I know he has, but he's not saying it.
Look, RJ's he's very diplomatic, but he's very level-headed too. But for me, I'm not as level-headed. I'm not diplomatic. I'm neither of those things. This is the least scared I've been of a Chelsea team in a very, very long time because I'm not scared. I don't fear them. You can lock it in. I don't fear Chelsea.
Is that because of a
Clip
4-0
it.
win?
Clip it. No, not just a 4-0 win.
We've had success against you guys even previous season. It's not about this.
It's what they've done and what they haven't done. Like, they have lost a lot of good players and they have strengthened. I think Koulibaly is top class. I think he's a top class signing. He has been for a long time, but I don't see where the goals are coming from. I mean, Sterling, they're going to need to pray that he hits the ground running because if he doesn't,
he has. He's proven.
If he doesn't know in the league, I think they're going to really struggle to score goals. Their defense is hard to break unless you're Arsenal and it's preseason. But I'm not scared of Chelsea. I actually think this is the season where they're put back in their place a little bit and they're going to drop down that ladder a little.
But the thing with that is, we say this about Chelsea every couple of seasons. It's they got no players, new manager, and this player's not happy. Hazard's left, and and then they still just win the Champions League.
Chaos and trophies, my friend.
That's what I mean. So you almost like a Liverpool and City where you just can't. You can't just ride Chelsea away because they're still going to be thereabouts. Even under Lampard, where it's like completely gone. Somehow, top four. You know what I mean? They're a team the last couple of years where if they're not winning it and it's the year where I think this is the year where they're going to completely. I know that the last season of Mourinho where they came 8th or 6th or something like that. It's like,
but they won Did they win Champions League?
Nah, not
or the year after.
No, when they're
Conte came the year after and won the league.
The FA Cup the year after.
Yeah,
We're
that's
just
right.
used to winning stuff. I know it's not.
But I get what you mean. I get Scott's point where it's like it just feels like everyone around. To be honest, if we look at all the teams, even Arsenal, United, it just doesn't feel that the teams are ready yet for the whole season. Like no one's kind of ready in a sense, which kind of puts everyone on the same bracket of we're not ready, but then because when no one's ready, we're kind of ready.
I feel like we're more ready than them.
Yeah, but then again, you guys last season didn't play 2 games a week.
Exactly.
You got Europa League Sunday. Yeah. Well, for us, it's going to be Friday, Sunday, or
Short
Monday.
turnaround. And
are you going to have the depth to go throughout the whole season? Maybe at the start of the season, you get the results, but the back end after the World Cup, I don't know. There's another African Cup of Nations, so there's Party again. There's who is that? Just only one player you guys have?
Is that, but is
Pepe,
that,
if you still have him. Pepe, if you
is
still
that
have
AFCON happening
Again.
on the back of the way? Is it
Yeah.
2024? Because we're talking about this in the
I don't know. Must have been. I don't know. They had one last year. They had one every year now, or what? I don't
They
know.
were meant to move it into like June, July, but the weather there, it's got rain season there, so that's why it's always in January. But these are the questions as well. With Arsenal, they could, look, let's be honest, Arsenal have Arteta, whether you know, if he's going to get sacked in the morning or if he's going to stay for another 10 years, whatever it might be. No, I'm not saying sack him. I'm just saying whatever the fans are thinking about, like this manager, he's had him now for a quite while. He's got majority of his plays that he wanted. Mm-hmm. And I think now you can start. Even last season, you saw some of the football that Arsenal were playing. Even that game against Manchester City, all right, it was only the first half. And at the end of the day, it's about getting the result. But you saw something there. Now, if he gets a couple more signings in, first team signings, not just backups and all that. First team signing is the players that he's got in now in the squad. They're going to be the backups. You know what I mean? Then you see a bit of an Arsenal team that's maybe pushing for them fourth, comfortably in top four. Yep. Where Chelsea at the moment, you just can't. I get what you mean, Scotty.
They're either going to finish third or fifth. Like
yeah,
you just don't know.
You're going to win the league.
Judging the preseason, right? Because I've watched it intensely.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and I've seen all the reviews after the games. But it just feels like to be honest,
it doesn't feel right.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel.
The last two games, because I'm agreeing. Honestly, the first few games, I'm thinking, wow, we're very undercooked. We couldn't beat Charlotte FC, right? We're losing in penalties, and that doesn't happen to us. But then I saw against Udinese, bloody 90 minutes. First time we saw Conte back in, we're starting to get a bit more familiarity of what the 11 looks like. Chilwell wasn't even playing. So for the first time with a team that looks close to our starting 11, we completely blitzed Udinese off the park. And they are a mid-table Serie A team, but we didn't do it against the US team. So if we can do that there with a closer-looking 11, then we played a second game the next day with our second 11. You talk about depth. I don't even know, from only a few positions, Mendy, Thiago Silva, Koulibaly, Reece James, Chilwell. Apart from that, I couldn't tell you the exact midfield and front line who they would be, because you've got guys like, again, Conor Gallagher, fantastic season at Palace. They've been playing him in a pivot. I don't think he's a pivot player. He's an attacking-based midfielder. It stifles him. You don't hinder the talent. You harness it. Put him up top. Then you've got players like Kovacic, who I think that guy is serially underrated. If he plays like he did last season, we haven't seen him hardly at all during pre-season. Watch him come back in, him and Jorginho together, and him and Conte. That's why I think it's a bit premature to start thinking Chelsea have dropped the ball a little bit. The key will be if Tuchel doesn't allow them to be a little bit more attack-focused in terms of their structure, the back three, back five, it really affects us up top. If we play a little bit more of a risk-taking philosophy up top, I think we'll be a lot stronger than what people are making out to be.
I just want to make a point as well. Like you've triggered it for me a little bit off topic, but at the same time, Chelsea won't have the uncertainty that they had last season when the whole Roman Abramovich thing was happening, and they had to find an owner and players' wages, and that's why players were deciding whether or not they go or they stay or whatever. I just think, you know what? I understand the other points as well, is that maybe the teams around Chelsea got stronger and hence why they're a bit more ready, but you can't write them off.
Yeah,
you just can't write them off.
Steve makes a good point.
Today is it's the 1st of August today. I think we remember there's a month left of this transfer window. Yeah. This Boehly guy's come in and he's promised he's going to spend money. He spent, $1 billion to buy the club. He said, I'm going to pump money into this club. I think the 4-0 against Arsenal the other day was the best thing that could have happened to Chelsea. Tuchel's come out after the game and said, I need players. Yeah. This guy, if he wants to come in and he wants to be in that mold of Roman, he's going to put his money on the table. He's got to buy players. He's got to buy goals because they haven't got that number 9. They got rid of Lukaku. He went out back to Inter. They're going to bring someone in. I still think that there's a couple big moves for Chelsea. 1 or 2 big marquee players to come in.
CR7?
No,
I don't think CR7. Although I do think he'll go there.
Lewandowski when he can't register for Barca. Where do you guys see Chelsea finishing this season overall, as it stands now? Regardless of maybe linked to Kempembe and all these players coming in, as it stands now, like you said, August the 1st, where are they finishing?
They edge 4th, just.
Do we all kind of agree 4th, or you?
Yeah.
Wait, Scotty, where you taking them? Because I'm looking at
it's a battle for London.
Premier League.
For me,
what with Fulham?
No, with Arsenal and Tottenham.
Where are they finishing?
Are we saying with the squad that they've currently got?
Right now, as of today,
Right now, as of
6th.
Where?
As of today, 6th. I think there are 5 teams, and they'll come up as we go. I think there are 5 teams that are in better nick than them. I just think I think they've been too slow at the moment. They let themselves get bullied by Barca on a couple of players. And I think they need more. And this isn't me trying to be edgy or slander Chelsea, because when we did our season,
kind of think it is.
No, hold on. But when we did our season preview,
This man's taking it personally.
when we did our season preview before, I tipped Chelsea to win the league on the back of the UCL. So this isn't just baseless Chelsea slander. I genuinely think that they're undercooked. They're well undercooked, and they're
undercooked,
missing
mate.
something.
Steve?
Look, I'm thinking fifth because I think the gaps in the squad. I mean, as much as you've got depth, I think there are big gaps in this squad. You don't have a number 9. Your right wing is an issue. Defensively, look, there's Reece James is a player that I rate so high.
Beast.
That guy is probably one of the best players I've seen. But the problem I have is he gets injured, like you're saying, and you're screwed.
Yeah.
And,
Same with Chilwell.
And Chilwell's another one. And that's why I think the depth isn't there. And I can't see the direction in the transfer window. Chelsea have never been a team that just fucked about in the transfer window. They went in there and got business done. Now I'm seeing something from Chelsea I haven't seen since the 90s, right, where it's indecisiveness on who you're going to buy and what you're going to do. And that's why I'm thinking to myself, if they don't do anything, it's fifth.
Well, look, they got, like you said, a month to make some transfers in. But yeah, I think at the moment I still see them making top 4 because they've still got the core of that team, Tuchel as their manager, and plus Sterling coming in as well. I think it's going to be a big boost as well. Let's go to...
Hold on, man. I've got to stop you. I need to know where he thinks they're
And
going.
also, I just want to say Steve's right in the sense of new blokes come in, tried to make things happen very decisively. I'm sort of the view, I can understand where he's coming from, trying to go clean slate, but it's a high risk, high return strategy, because if you're going to get rid of the experience of Marina and Petter and co, then you've got to be able to back up your confidence with action. And at the moment, we've been, like I said, 2 quality signings. We know that. Not enough. We've lost Rudiger and Christensen. But we've came third with that stumbling attack. So from 3rd to 6th, and we've replaced our defenders. We've placed one of the 2 defenders with arguably an even better one. And we've got Sterling up top to upgrade that stumbling attack. I don't know how we justify a 3-spot downgrade, but...
So where are you at?
Where I'm at, I think
Champions
we will
of
finish comfortably fourth. I still think we'll just
At the moment,
third
I
spot.
kind of agree at the moment.
Yeah.
Look, let's move on to the next few rejects there that weren't sure if they wanted Champions League. They didn't want to. They were passing the parcel around all season.
Unlocked.
Well, let's see if we can try hit these 3 teams in the kind of one conversation. 'Cause I'm just looking at the time as well. We're going to look at the relegation teams with Arsenal and Fulham and them later. But
Dick with that, mate.
But,
Eating a dick with that.
Here
mate.
we go.
He was gunning for that.
look,
Oh, yeah.
Spurs, Arsenal, and United. Arguably, I think maybe as it stands now, maybe more Man United and Arsenal for that top 4 spot. Do you guys see Spurs booking their spot in from now, early doors into that top 4, top 3?
They're going to win the fucking league. Haven't you heard?
I've heard. That's why I'm just...
I've looked,
Mate, you've been
guys,
promoting that more than anybody on YouTube.
because you know why these guys are listen, they stand talk about Arsenal fans being fucking deluded, right? Yes, once upon a time, but they've just got that award. They've put
Optimism, it's
levels
that
in this,
optimism.
levels that we will never reach of delusion. These guys have got dibs on the Premier League, and apparently they're gonna win it.
Listen,
So,
delusional cup,
let's not
bro.
bother.
It's a
Give it to
trophy.
Tom.
Any
Give it to
trophy.
Racket, run it.
Steve, what do you think there? Because there are a lot of Spurs fans talking big. And I know Robbie and I talked on the way here. We've got a similar outlook on Spurs, but why do you think they're talking so big? Try and put yourself, as disgusting as it is, try and put yourself in their shoes. Why do you think Spurs fans are going into this season in a lippy way?
I honestly think it's because they're so top heavy, right? They're so top heavy. They're thinking there's going to be goals coming out of their ass. They're not realizing that defensively they don't look good.
The Conte system, he makes that work. You've seen it at Chelsea, you've seen it at... They just don't concede a lot of goals. They might win a scrappy 1-0, just a penalty.
Structurally sound.
Yeah. That's right, and especially some of the players that they brought in as well. I mean, you can't look past it. I know they're your rivals, and I know
I'm
Spurs
calling it
fans
straight.
are kind of over-exaggerating or over-hyping where they're going to finish first.
Because they've recruited.
Yeah, but first,
well,
their recruitment
early.
doesn't tell me first.
No. I'm sorry.
That's what we're saying.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's the
But
discussion.
I agree.
to say if you were to tell me Spurs to finish 3rd and maybe a slight chance they're going to leap a City or a Liverpool into that 2nd spot, because that all because Liverpool or City might have injuries. the World Cup.
Yeah, something has to happen.
Something has to happen for that. Like
to
Liverpool,
assist
when United came second, Liverpool had all them injuries. They couldn't cope, no depth. That's why I can see maybe Spurs coming
They've
second
added
only.
depth.
Yes.
I think that's the one thing that Spurs always lacked because I think RJ, you mentioned about like pick your 11 or first 11, and you always knew who their first 11 was.
yeah.
But post that, if something happened, Spurs couldn't handle it. But I think and they got in early, they did their recruitment, they moved on, and I think that's why maybe the Chelsea conversation is like, well, do Chelsea hang on to third, or do Tottenham get a little bit stronger and then maybe they take third, and then fourth is up for grabs? And I personally believe it's an Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham fight for third and fourth. I don't think we're going to get there yet, Butch. I don't think we're going to get to top four from a United perspective.
With your current squad, now you don't know what's going to happen in a month.
Even then, I still think there's a whole
Even with a month.
pattern of
21 is
I know we're
coming.
not talking about United specifically, but I think from a Spurs perspective, that's why they're arcing up. That's why the fans are getting a little bit rowdy. I couldn't sit. There's no way they're finishing first. Even if City and Liverpool have injuries,
they're going to win the Champions League.
So they're not finishing. So Tottenham are not finishing first, Steve.
it's first or bust, huh?
First or bust.
It's first or bust. I think they're going to
All or
bust.
nothing. Steve.
Okay, so if Spurs win the league, you two are gonna wear Spurs kits.
No.
You're that confident?
No.
Yeah, hold on. And if they don't, I mean, there's got to be a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
That's too easy.
I'm not fucking wearing a
That's too
Spurs
easy.
kit. Fuck that.
You're not confident, so Spurs are winning the league for Steve.
No, I won't
There
put a
you
bet.
go.
I'll never wear a
The
fucking
Aussie
Spurs kit.
Gunnar has spoken.
No. I'll put my word on something. I'll never wear a Spurs kit. You're fucking dreaming on that.
But you're saying that there's no way they can win the league.
No
Yeah,
chance.
but I don't want anything to be anywhere near a Spurs kit.
But if you believe, if you back your word, that will never happen.
You're a dick.
They're gonna rip the whole wall down.
Yeah. If there was one clear team, like if it was just City versus the rest, or if it was just Liverpool versus the rest, but because you've got City and Liverpool, to be able to jump both of them would be two
No way.
miracles in the one setting to
22
me.
points last season, the gap.
Yeah, I know it's ridiculous. And you know
levels
what?
at these two teams.
Kev made a good point about the depth they've made, but I still think they're vulnerable in a couple of key positions. Like, we know that they're top heavy, like Steve said, but I actually think an important part is their midfield connection of Højbjerg. Like, he's such an important player that protects that very suspect defence. If someone like him goes down,
Yeah,
I
there's
don't
no
know,
real
like,
replacement, like strong replacement.
That's right. Like, I know they've got players in theory, but he's such an important physical presence for them. I reckon they'll be in big trouble if he
Well,
goes
they
down.
got
signed Basuma, I was gonna say.
They got Basuma there,
Yeah, true.
Big
right?
signing.
But you got
Big
Richarlison
signing.
there. That there's again uncertain. Is he going to play? Is he going to start?
He
I know
won't
he's
play.
injured at the
He's
moment.
there for depth,
Yeah,
straight
depth.
out.
I think he's a depth type.
Yeah, he's a depth
But where do you see them kind of finishing at the moment?
Third.
Yeah,
Third?
I agree with third. I'll put up third.
That's who I picked.
I think they're getting excited for the Conte effect.
Even the
for me.
manager. That's
That's
exactly
the big
right. I
thing
think
for
the
me,
manager, world class
because we've
manager.
seen what Conte
but
done. He came
thought
in
it was
halfway
okay.
through last season. Yeah, Conte came through halfway through last season, and where the Spurs were and where they finished and the football they were playing.
He almost sacked himself at one stage.
Yeah, it was very rocks and
Exactly,
diamonds,
it was
man.
very rocks. But they were behind United at one point when. You know, I wanted Conte, for the record. I wanted him at United. I really thought that he was going to be. When Spurs got in, Spurs were behind United, and everyone said Spurs aren't going to get Spurs fourth. They're not going to get fourth. They got fourth. They're playing good football. The players he bring in, Kulusevski,
Great.
Bentancur, straight away hit the ground running. And for players from the Serie A that normally have big question marks on them, they got the job done. Now with a full preseason of that same team, and they've been backed for a change. I can't believe Daniel Levy went to his pocket and actually backed him. This is pretty much if they don't do it this season, and do it is not the title. Do it for them is secure top Champions
cup.
League football and go for a cup, because we all know Conte is good at cup runs.
They're allergic to him.
I don't know.
As a club, yeah.
Yeah.
As a club, yes. But if they don't do it this year, I can see Conte leaving after this year. That's it. And then all go back to square one for them.
If he makes it that far. to be
Exactly.
honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Conte's the kind of guy who's if it ain't successful and he can't
If he
get
doesn't get his way, he's gonna do the dart. He's gonna walk. He's gonna walk.
There's
But
not
then
that
that leaves a couple more spots here. You know, West Ham, United, who's available to these top four spot.
Aston Villa,
with Gerrard.
Brentford, Wolves.
Yeah, they got Brentford.
Nottingham Forest, maybe.
Arsenal.
Oh, that's right.
That's the
Arsenal.
relegation talk later, isn't it?
Arsenal. No, but look, I started last season. Last season, I knew that Arsenal was going to do a pretty good job.
You started last season.
at the start of last season.
Do you want me to clip up what you said about Arsenal?
Yeah, go look at every single episode
No,
and ask
the
Steve.
first one when you said, I hope they get relegated, and I go, should we talk about Arsenal? You're
Yeah,
like, no, they're not worth my time.
Yeah,
The clip king over there.
After the 3 games, after they got these ones,
Yeah.
you decided.
And I saw what they were doing. I saw what they were doing. You can ask
Confidence
Steve. You can ask Steve because Steve wasn't confident. I was, and I think they're even stronger now.
Playing that card, of don't look overconfident, but really, of course, we're going to beat Everton.
No, Steve
It's
said-
tricky fixture. This game's tricky.
Steve was actually not playing the card. Steve looked at the team and said, we're a top 6 team. Anything over that, we're overachieving. And you know what?
Overachieved, huh?
I was fucking right.
Well, you can't see they're threatening Kev with, I'll clip it. How many times have I heard you say 21's coming? Are we going to do the Borch 21 is...
Let me say one thing.
Hold on a minute.
Shut the fuck up. Wait a
That'd be
second.
21 is coming compilation.
You guys came here and there's a massive fucking bus parked outside and you guys are wondering what the fuck that was
Oh,
for.
did you know-
Explain yourself. Why is
I'll
there a
explain
bus
myself.
parked
Yeah, the
outside?
tour
Okay, go
bus.
for it.
I explained myself, all right?
Bus outside.
What did I say? I said 21 is coming. Correct. I've said
21
that.
years or...
When is it coming? I didn't elaborate on that.
Wait a minute. You're turning 21. So this year you're 21.
21
Because
is
you're
coming. I could be talking about De Jong. He's number 21. We already have...
Your birthday.
We already had Martinez, number 21. He's come in. We've already had Ericsson, number 21. He's come in. So 21 has come. But I didn't say which 21. Relax.
Kev,
Chill out.
don't say I haven't got your
clip it
back,
up,
man.
bro.
Look,
Don't
he's
clip it up.
backtracking. He's nervous. He's nervous.
Let him
He's
have
got
his
a lotto
say.
fucking ticket because I'm telling you, man, you got no fucking chance.
I'm telling ya, it's the battle for London. That's what it is. It's
We'll see.
It's the whole Chelsea.
Let's go into these 2 teams, boys. Manchester United and Arsenal. Where are these 2 teams? The Banter FC. Banter Club FC. Holding hands. We might get copyright now, bro. I don't know.
That's all right.
Yeah. We're monetized.
This is no
these
longer
days.
going to get monetized. We're fucked. There goes 45 fucking minutes.
45 minutes. Hey, look, Man United, Arsenal, the 2 banter teams, the Process FC, how many El Sakikos did we have with our managers? Obviously, your manager won. That's fantastic. But these 2 teams, let's go with a little bit of Arsenal. Recruitment so far has been decent, in my opinion. Decent. Some maybe a little bit questionable because they're not starting players. They're not starting 11 players. Obviously, Zivchenko, fantastic. Jesus, fantastic as well. Even though he was a 3rd choice at Manchester City, and Zivchenko didn't really play. But fantastic for the lower league teams like Arsenal. So, great signings, but you guys need more. Where's your Tillemans? Where's Lissandro Martinez? Where's...
Don't want Martinez, man.
I don't want him now.
Well, what do we need him for? We've got Zinchenko.
I don't know, mate.
We got Zinchenko, we got Kieran
Steve wants Madison, mate.
Yeah, mate, I'd take Madison.
8 mil.
Nah, I'm just cheating.
Don't you fucking say that shit, mate. You want to fucking go home. You want to go out
For Martinelli.
You know what? If
Swap for Martinelli.
Swap for Martinelli.
Pink jersey with Madison on the back for the boys.
Oh,
That'd be
hey.
soon, 'cause that guy hits the ground
You know,
fucking all the time.
He had the pink kit at Leicester, remember? So he matches.
Oh.
It's just a quick transfer. But look, boys, your pre-season has been actually pretty good.
Flawless.
People can say it's only pre-season. I kind of disagree. I think pre-season, even as a coach, will tell you that it's probably one of the most important parts of the season. Now, look, for teams like Liverpool and City, where they know their system, they know their players, it's more fitness. Where for maybe Arsenal, maybe for United, Spurs, maybe a little bit. It's more about the new structure. Even for Chelsea, a little bit. They know the philosophy, they know the system. But with Arsenal and United, it's more
Testing the waters.
new manager for us. You guys, new players. A few players have left, and you guys are kind of carrying on from what you guys pretty much left off from the back in the last season. Bottle jobs. But you ended up doing well and won your last game. You thought Spurs might have lost it, so you get that top 4. But now look, your pre-season was good, so you're going to win the league.
Nah, not winning the league, man.
You beat Chelsea 4-0.
Look, let's be real. Yeah, but they're
How
not
close
a
were
good
Chelsea to
team.
winning the league last season when we beat Chelsea.
Chelsea, this is Boehly's Chelsea, man. This is not a good Chelsea, yeah. But let's be real. Like, shit talk aside, we've made good signings. Okay, and
You said shit talk aside.
That's what I thought. We're moving on, aren't we?
a 3rd choice player at City is a 1st choice player at United and Arsenal right now. Probably Chelsea too.
Disagree.
But
Sterling starting, guys. I don't know what's like that.
Jesus, for me, I've been so impressed with the variety of goals he's scored. He hasn't just scored one type of goal. You've seen those poachers goals. You've seen those, individual brilliance goals. You've seen great link-up goals. He's scoring different kinds of goals, and I think he's going to have a cracking season. I think he's going to have a cracker of a season, and there's a really good vibe around the club. We know what Arsenal's like, though. We know what Arsenal's like. It can change. And for me, it's going to come down to how we cope in those high-pressure moments. Have we learnt anything from the way we humiliated ourselves at the end of last season? Because I wasn't happy with how it ended. I wasn't happy at all.
Yeah, but do you think, sorry to cut you off, do you think it's because at the back end of the season, it was weekend game, midweek, it was them 2 games. Is that going to, guys, affect you? Because that's where because I feel 1 game a week, maybe a cup game every now and then, there was still 1 game a week.
To me, it's something more. It's something, and Steve will tell you this, he's been watching Arsenal a long time. It's a mentality thing.
Precisely.
When the pressure builds at Arsenal,
They buckle, man.
the club, and this is not just this team. This isn't just Arteta. We were 10 minutes away from winning a Champions League final in 2006.
You keep it
And
aside to get
we
walkabouts.
buckled, yeah. Like the mentality's got to shift, and something's got to be the catalyst of that. Now, I'm hoping that Arteta's system is starting to click with the players. There are no excuses. He's got his own guys. I'm hoping it clicks this year. I think we're top 4, though.
I agree.
He agrees.
yeah.
He just says he agrees.
Talking sweet nothings.
No. I couldn't remember who beat you guys in 2006. That's all.
I've got
Barca.
Back in when it was still black and white.
I think he's whispering KJ's here. 21 is coming.
No, but I have similar sentiments. That's why I was saying earlier the battle for London, because it's the Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham battle, and I think 2 of those teams see out the top 4 along with City and Liverpool. So that's going to be an interesting one. But I think we're at where you guys were at last year in terms of United, because now obviously the style of play and all
Trust
that
the
has
process,
kicked
Kev.
in.
They've been there for 5 years, Kev. 5 years.
I
they've been
know,
trusting
but
the
I
process.
actually
By the end of the window, Arteta's going to spend $500 million in 4 years, 3 years, $500 million. So you need to be winning something this
He's
season.
got no excuse. There's no excuse.
Yeah.
I agree.
There's
It's not
no
even banter. Like
excuses.
everyone goes, "Oh, United has spent $1 billion since Fergie retired." Well, in half the time, Arteta's done the same. So this season, there needs to be something like making Champions League, just making the top 4. I mean, everyone says that. That's what you sacked Arsene Wenger for, just for making top 4. Now it's becoming we need top 4. It shouldn't be the case with Arsenal. You guys need to win a trophy.
It's top 4 and a trophy, but I think they're a lot closer now than they've been.
Would you guys win Europa League, come 5th, and win Europa League, which still gives you Champions League? If
I would take that.
I'll take that.
I'd 100% take
I'll
that.
book
Steve
it in
and I
now.
had this
I'm
talk.
booking
Go,
the
Steve,
bus. I'm booking the bus.
Steve,
Hell no.
I'll let you go, man.
I'm fucking selfish. I'm greedy. This prick's had plenty of time.
Know yourself.
He's been fucking backed. He's got his players. He needs a number 8. Stop fucking around. No excuses. He needs to finish 4th because that's progress in the Premier League, minimum. He's going to play Europa League, right? Now, Europa League is like, it's second fiddle to Champions League.
So
no,
mate.
you got to build a foundation. If you're going to jump into the Champions League, you want to compete. I don't want to go there to fucking make up numbers and get knocked out in the round of 16 or not even make it out of the group stage. If you're going in to win. If we can't win the fucking Europa League, we got no fucking right of going into the Champions League. What's the point? To hang out there and make up numbers and
But Steve, I think if you get to the Champions League, there's going to be other players that will want to come to the club. I think there's going to be strikers
And then you
out
get
there
consistency as well.
Yeah.
Look, that's a fair call. But my point is right now, if he gets himself a number 8 and with the squad that he's got, if he can't compete in the Europa League and win the Europa League, then what chance has this manager got in the Champions League with the good players?
Yeah,
So
but that's what I mean. Like even if
It's a mentality thing.
yeah, but even if he does, like even if with Arteta, even if he like you guys were saying before, even if he gets sacked, at least the next guy is gonna have a decent squad there. It's not
foundation is there.
Yeah, it's not just dead wood all around the pitch. At least they got Saka. You got your brilliant last season. Smith Rowe still coming through. Martinelli last season
Towards the back end, especially.
back end.
It's my guy.
Your guy, yeah.
boy.
Would you swap him for Madison?
Fuck no.
With the pink kit?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We're doing the deal. So you got the youngsters still coming through with a bit of a mix of experienced players. So, yeah.
I just think maybe the
it's
second
literally
striker.
what's happening in 4 days, all or nothing's coming out. That's your season coming up as well. It's really, especially for Arteta, it's a lot of all or nothing for him, to be honest. But
Second striker for you boys?
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm not a fan of
Gakpo?
Eddie's. I'm
Do
going to
you like Gakpo?
Nah, I don't, mate.
Cody
Don't they
Gakpo.
have Henry in number 14 as well? Off the bench?
Better 14.
Hey,
I'm-
forgot about him.
Eddie, I'm not an Eddie
He's
man.
a Man
yeah.
United fan chatting shit.
Yeah, I know. You'd think they finished above us last year and they weren't worse.
Oh, they finished
right?
above us for 1 year, and oh my God, they won the trophy now.
I'm
They
just
won the
saying,
5th trophy.
You're
now.
actually,
trophy.
you're
I know.
actually, you're,
Now, I thought they talk shit about Tottenham about they finished about trophy.
you're actually going to sit here and chat shit.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
seriously.
they're becoming
We can
like
take 'em,
Liverpool,
we've got
man.
plenty up our sleeve, mate.
Liverpool, History FC, what happened in the past? This is what you guys
Once
sound
upon a
like.
time,
Right,
you got the
we're
club
coming
would say to
to
us,
Florida Cup
don't
winners.
talk about
We're
the
going-
past. It's
wait,
all about what's
we
happening
keep
now.
forgetting. We haven't won in 10 years. You guys haven't won in 20 years.
We've
Double it all up.
won
So
FA
that's
Cups.
what
Oh,
21.
we won a Europa League and the League Cup. the
Now,
other
hold
week.
on. That's
That
what
doesn't
I'm
mean
saying.
nothing.
He's just reminded me when I say 21 is coming.
Oh, here we go.
It's 21 years. No Premier League title is coming. Get ready, boys. Bus parade. We'll bus parade for that one.
Oh, you've got the bus here?
The bus is there, double decker,
Battery not
open
flat.
roof, open roof.
You've been starting that thing up from time to time?
Yeah, I've been warming it up.
Oh, well done, bro.
I've been warming it
Don't
up.
be fucking around, mate.
Different DJ. But look, and we'll touch on a little bit with Man United and Robbie. I'll go to you. Our pre-season very similar to maybe Arsenal's in terms of maybe the results, getting the results, but also our performances have been decent as well. You were at the Melbourne victory game. Saw some nice goals there. Obviously, a bit of a blunder from our captain for the first goal. But how do you see what you've seen from pre-season? New manager Ten Hag. We haven't really seen our new signings besides Malacia, who start every now and then, but more so our youngsters that played in the pre-season. Any of them you think excite you that can break through into this team? And obviously the signing of Frankie de Jong by the time this comes out.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
We're hoping that's the 21 that's coming.
Two
But,
teams
Barcelona
fucking
just
fighting for
announced
mid-
it.
both teams fighting for midfielders. But anyway,
no, look, our biggest signing for me is Ten Hag. Because I'm actually surprised just in this short...
1 hug, 2 hugs.
3 hugs, 4 hugs. Now, look, I'm surprised how quickly he's implemented his system just in this short off season. I expected to see something, but then as the season progresses, we see more. For straight away, first game of the preseason, for his system to be seen, high pressing, high line, fullbacks attacking, tiki-taka, triangles here and there, and scoring goals
More
with our front
triangles
three.
than Jada and Will.
100%. That's the only positive for me. I'm worried for our depth because I think we're skating on very, very thin ice. We look to the Atletico game on the weekend. Jadon Sancho was sick. Who played on right wing? Alanga. The drop off we have quantity, not quality at
And
the
you
moment.
saw when Atletico made their subs.
100%.
You look at the team that already had on, and then you have your Felix, your Kokes, and your Griezmann's all
Marcus
coming
come
on
on.
as well. So the depth there was massive.
That's what I'm worried about. Obviously, we have the big question mark with Ronaldo, but if I'm being honest with Ronaldo, I can't even see him playing that system. And I love him to death, and I still think he'll give it all if his all if he was to stay. But I don't know. Right now, you can't drop Martial. He's been there. He's done the preseason. He's had that link up and chemistry with Rashford and Sancho.
yeah.
He starts with me against Brighton no matter what. Ronaldo, I honestly can't pick it. One day I think he's going to stay. One day I don't think.
I don't
he's
think
gonna
anyone
stay.
wants him, so he might not even have a choice by the end of the window. Anyways, where do you see, or for your personal, I'll say achievements for the club this season? What is it for you that
For me,
finishing trophies? What would it
Europa
be?
League. We need to win Europa League this year. And if we don't, which I'm still skeptical because there's a few
Few
players.
easy teams in there
Obviously,
too.
we've got Arsenal. Roma's another one. I think it's going to be in the mix for the Europa League with Jose. He's building a good squad there as well.
Don't forget the UCL teams.
A lot of people getting excited. I see all these people. We're cooking. We're getting all these players in. Number one, we bought a left back, Malacia. I think he's going to be one for the future. But we've got there's 2 people in front of him in left back. Obviously, I think Tellers is going to go. We've got Luke Shaw. We need competition. We bring in Martinez, which I think is good. Again, we don't know who's going to be our partnership at the moment. He got 60 minutes yesterday, his first time in the first game. So is he going to start? There's Lindelof there. There's Boehly. There's Maguire. We bought again with someone. We've got
Varane.
Varane as well.
Europa League,
another one.
Varane.
if Varane stays fit, he's decent. That's the only problem he's got is fitness and the injuries.
That's what I mean. But we've bought players where we didn't have to buy. For 5 years, we've been yelling out to improve our midfield. At the moment, we're going into game 1 with McFred at the moment. We've got a free of Ericsson, who I think is...
Fred's phenomenal.
Fred
Fred is
Gadavids.
phenomenal.
Fred Gadavids. Mate,
Fred
did you
Gadavids.
see him?
He's great.
That chip,
Bro,
mate.
he walks into Arsenal's team at the
Oh,
moment.
behave.
That's the thing,
Walks
mate.
in and
I
starts
don't think
finding
we've got the
places.
depth.
Let's be honest. Out of all the players at the moment, that I think, like, because for me, it's like everyone's complaining about signings and signings and signings. We need players in. I'm like, no, hold on a minute. Yes, we do. Correct. But let's see what this manager's about.
He's your most important
Can you
signing.
improve the team, the players that we have? It's all, we just sell Wan-Bissaka. He's not good enough. Okay. That's probably the best scenario.
And then what?
How about can this manager, because Wan-Bissaka, right, he's not the best playing, he's going forward or playing out from the back. But one-on-one defending, he had Mbappe in his pocket in the Champions League game. So
And Sterling on a number of occasions.
Exactly. So you need them type of players to put in for different type of games.
We used to do that with Park back in the day.
All the time. Man mark. Even to an extent, all right, different managers and all that, but Herrera against Hazard that one season. He got sent off. He got sent off. He got sent off. Good footballing tactic. A bit of the dark arts. Didn't work out.
Hey, it works for him.
But I want to see the manager improve some of these players, and I think Fred at the moment.
Fred, I think he's been a big winner. Sancho, I think, is going to be one of the biggest winners in our team.
Scott loves Sancho.
My boy Sancho. Look, I think he's going to be someone who's going to come and have a big season. I
He
really
struggled.
back
He
him
just
for.
ripped your team apart. I guess
He's
twice.
the British Pepe.
Look,
That's his new
We'll take
nickname.
it.
man.
We'll take it. We'll take anyone at the moment. You give away Pepe, we'll take.
Can we have Pepe?
Give us Pepe, mate.
We're doing a stock take sale on fucking Man United. They're fucking
Raffle.
knocking it.
Just a raffle.
Open the
Pepe
door.
Bella and have a whole new right hand side.
No, we don't need your
Sills.
spice girl, mate, in the right back there.
Ask yourself,
You can keep your spice girl.
Are you worried about consistency? Is Rashford after a shit season? Is Martial after a shit season and a shit loan going to come back and score 20 goals?
I think. Let me touch on it 1 second.
Yeah.
I don't think it's about all of them scoring 20 goals. If they can share the goals around,
shared is fine.
I think this season that might need to be the case. If Bruno needs to chip in, Ericsson needs to chip in. If Ronaldo is there, he's probably the only one I could say can get 20 plus goals. Sancho with assists, with goal. If he gets 10 goals, 10 assists, okay. But the problem is Elanga, I don't think he's the right player. Garnacho came on yesterday against
Look great.
Real
Look great.
Vallecano,
But
looked
again,
fantastic.
on the left, we're stacked on the left.
Consistency, yeah, of course. We're not ready, to be honest, going into this season, but there's a lot of promising signs as well.
100%, I agree with that.
I was just going to say it's a different Rashford this season. I think because last year he had all that stuff that he was doing politically, and I think that burnt him out a little bit. And he even came out and said, like, this preseason has been the best preseason he's had for a while.
Let me touch on the Rashford thing as well. He did his surgery after the Euros, which he should have done it maybe before.
the Euros.
But whatever, yeah.
Went to the Euros and really
Yeah,
played.
went to the Euros.
Bottled the Euros.
Bottled it with our boys, your boys over there. But I think a lot of United fans are a bit harsh on him because the way he got thrown in, he thrown in against Leicester, within a minute scored the equaliser, and then they just let Vardy score 30 seconds later. Then we had Liverpool, got pumped. Then we had Man City, got pumped. So you're throwing Rashford in as our saviour in these games where Ronaldo was missing as well. He wasn't playing. Ralph Rangnick wasn't starting him. And then the confidence. He just came back from injury. Does he push it? He's still worried. And then for the rest of the season, the whole team kind of crumbled around him too. At that point, I've seen something from pre-season. Looks like a bit of energy. Still, the final third, bit of IQ, footballing IQ that's a bit missing. But that's why you got Ten Hag.
See, the thing is as well, we haven't seen, it looks good on preseason, we haven't seen us do a low block, get past a low block team. And that's been our biggest difficult thing to do in the last few years. When a team comes and plays a high line, we've got the pace to get in
We
behind.
need to be clinical. If we get the early goal, the first goal, then I think teams will struggle
That's
to
the
lose.
thing. If we get the early goal, we get confidence and we'll go score 2, 3, 4 goals.
Are you basing this on Atletico?
No, just pre-season
no,
in general.
no.
Yeah, for years. Last season.
But you can't. Look, you got Ten Hag now, so you fuck the years.
Yeah, but
I'm saying right now, are you basing the issue
No,
on low block because
I'm
of
not basing it
Atletico?
on Atletico. Just in general, these are the same players from last year. This guy's not a miracle maker. Even though I think he's going to improve, and I think we're going to improve during the season. But you can't just flick a switch, and the same players are going to go from dog shit last year to freaking make top 4 contenders and trophy contenders this year. A lot of people saying I'm negative. I'm not being negative, I'm being real. Only because I don't think we've got enough to leapfrog the teams in front of us that finished in front of us and have also added depth. So someone like your Tottenham, they finished in front of us. Arsenal finished in front of us. They've gone out and bought more. We haven't improved our 11 yet.
But that's
really.
what I'm saying. It's all about how quick can they adapt to their system. If they adapt to the system quick, and everyone adapts to it, with obviously still one or two more players in, it's going to take time. But I think it's more about, can you adapt to your system? Can you work the press? How quick are we to win the ball when we lose it?
It's not always new players, because we've seen, in our example, they sacked Frank, brought Tuchel in mid-season,
Exactly.
working with his current
100%.
crop,
Yeah.
won the Champions
Armpits.
League. You brought up Wan-Bissaka. It's a great example. We changed a leaky defence to a robust one, end up crushing it in a Champions League. What can he do with the current crop? Because it's not like you've got a relegation team. There are decent players on face value with a couple of good ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the coach or the manager is such an important signing more than any player.
That's what I've said. He's our best upgrade this season. From
100%.
what we had from Oli to Radnick to him, this guy is actually someone with a philosophy that we haven't seen at United for how many years? Every time we played park the bus, counter-attacking football, this guy is going to come in, play attractive football, and I think he's going to be, he's going to be there yelling at the players, or he's going to be the one that's going to take charge and say, "This is the way of football. If you don't like it,
Yeah.
bang,
He's actually
someone
a
else is gonna
coach.
come in."
He's actually a coach. Like, he's
Exactly.
not just a manager. He's actually
100%.
a coach, and he's really pushing his style on the players, and he knows it. He doesn't need an assistant to go out there and put it all together for him. He's the one that's in control, knows what he wants, can identify it. I think if we're looking at personal goals, I couldn't care less if we finished 6th. I honestly don't care.
Bring
if
you
we
our
finished-
sponsor, Red Bull.
Red Bull. I couldn't care if we finished 6th, but what I would want to see is obviously that style of play being cemented. And also, because we don't have the depth, the younger boys have to play. They have to play a part somehow, whether it's Cups or Europa or whatever it is, because we've gone with young squads. We went to Paris with a young squad and won 3-1. So if we can do that, I think that'll be a successful season for us and a decent cup run. Like, we don't have to win it, but
I think we can win it. We can win a trophy. Europa League will be ideal because it gets you Champions League.
Yep.
But definitely Carabao Cup.
I wouldn't
You
mind.
take
Champions
it,
of the
man.
world. You're taken out. We can't pick and choose.
Our clubs aren't going to lift their nose at either of our clubs at a Carabao
shame,
Cup,
mate.
FA
It's
Cup.
so
They're going to
lovely.
take
We're
it.
gonna celebrate it. We're
It's
gonna
silverware.
and that's
Mate, shirt off,
and
open bar.
a question for you boys: is it a football thing? Yeah, Community Shield, 97th minute. Your team's already up 2-1. You score a little header.
Oh my God.
Are you backing off the top, pumping the chest, giving it all to the fans for a Community Shield? Is that a football thing?
Definitely not. Definitely not. I couldn't believe it was real. I couldn't believe it.
You actually thought it was a video game for a half a second, eh?
100%.
It was over the top. You won the game. It's a community shield. Let's keep it in perspective.
I think he's been
Not a
watching too many
football
Ronaldo videos, but that's what Ronaldo does when he wins the Champions League.
We thinking this is a Maradona moment. You know what I mean? You know,
a bit
after he
over
did
the
some
top, I reckon. I
some
don't know.
crazies like that, people asking questions about what's he
Boys,
on, what's he on.
He's seen Johnny Aloisi and he's like, hey, remember that night? John Aloisi.
Where reckon, Scotty?
What are you thinking? Because what are you overthinking it?
It's a football thing.
It's a football thing.
At any goal at the top level, any goal for a piece of silverware, you celebrate, mate.
Yeah, but look at
You-
that.
you never know when the next one will
Van
be.
Dijk was telling him
Celebrate.
to hurry up, and this guy's turned around back to the fans and give it the chest pump.
Nah, it's a bit over the top.
Mate,
Go take your
Yeah,
pictures
nah.
with your fish, mate. Go take your pictures with the fish. But look, the rest of you boys, Man United, RJ, Scott, Steve, with what you've heard, the philosophy, the tactical genius of the man Ten Hag. Where do you at the moment? Obviously, no other signings. Give me a position.
6 for me.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I'm telling you, I wanted to say it, but I didn't. Yeah, it's gonna
Say
be,
it, because I'll clip it up.
No, it's gonna be sixth. It's gonna be sixth.
Yeah?
Yeah.
6 is coming.
fifth.
Yeah, with his testicle.
Hey, Scotty!
He's got Chelsea finishing below us.
Fifth above Chelsea.
Get up, get up.
But
Get up,
you-
the Scotty.
Can I tell you what I'm excited to
Host
see?
nicely. I like that. Very good.
Nah, man. If there's anyone I'm going to treat nicely, it's not Butch.
That's it. Brown paper bag styles, mate.
But you know what? I think the challenge is going to be, because United are a club that over the years you haven't had to wait. You've always been one of the big fish, yeah? Like in Premier League history, you've always been up there. You've always been winning things. It's been a long time now, and a lot of the talk from your fans is that you guys are going to get behind him. you're going to really back Ten Hag's process. I could tell you now, and Steve will tell you as well, it's not easy. The amount of times it's been like a roller coaster with Arteta. It's not easy as a fan base to commit to that longer term vision. I'm only now starting to see what I think are going to be the fruits of that, and it could go all tits up when the season starts, 100%. But I'm curious to see, you guys are really going to need to be patient, and you're going to really need to back him. But I think from what I've seen in the preseason, and preseason it is, you do look like you have a little bit more of an idea of how you're going to play. I felt like you were winging it at times last season. It was
terrible.
It was just send it to Ronaldo. Let's pray he does something. So I think you'll have a stronger identity.
Scotty's being a bit generous to us tonight.
Where are we finishing from your perspective?
Me, look, I'm going to be on the It's a Football Thing podcast on Thursday, so get my prediction on there.
I've predicted him as Premier League champions this season.
Oh, yeah.
Clip it up.
Boys,
The Indian Premier League or
Any league.
Australian Cup. But boys, before we wrap up, relegation, just a quick one. Give me your 3 teams. Not really any explanation at the moment. Who's going down? Let's go, Kev, with you.
Oh shit! You put me on the spot. I don't know why, but I'm throwing Everton in there. I think
there's
there's a lot of reasons as to that. Yeah.
Mate, the part where I said no explanation.
All right. Okay. Cool. Everton, Bournemouth.
Bournemouth are on lock. They're going down.
Yep.
100%.
I'm gonna go Forest just off the top of my head.
Okay. Steve-O.
Everton, Leeds.
Yeah,
I know it's going to sound bad, and Bournemouth. I've got a bad feeling about Leeds.
RJ.
I think it'll be Leeds, Fulham, and Bournemouth.
For me, Leeds, Bournemouth.
Leeds are not getting the love treatment tonight,
Leeds, Bournemouth.
We don't want them to go, but we just think it's
I want them to go, and I'm going to go Everton as well.
Everton.
Yeah, a lot of people Everton. Me, I'm going definitely Bournemouth. They're going to come last. I think Forest would just miss out, and my smoky is Southampton. I think Southampton, mate.
Yeah, good shout. Yeah, Bournemouth is definitely going down, eh?
Fuck, bro.
Bournemouth is definitely going down. I think Forest recruited well. I think they could just stay up and then
They've got a couple good players there. Like Neco Williams came in, Henderson came in, and obviously Jay Lings came in. But I don't know.
Fulham, I can see Fulham staying up, but they're a team that always go down for some reason.
Mitrovic,
surely now. I think maybe Brighton and Brentford.
Brighton?
Wow.
Right. I've got them at least mid-table.
I think Harry Potter might leave. Mr. Graham. I think honestly, I think he's a manager that can get a better job than Brighton.
Oh, I agree with that. 100%.
Brighton, Munich needs to get out of here because we're struggling with them at the moment. Every week. But Everton is definitely a good shout. Any shock relegations? Like a team that's
Wolves.
Good shout.
I thought Southampton's a shock for me.
Yeah.
That one is a good one.
I'm saying Leicester.
Nah.
No, I'm saying Leicester.
A lot of injuries have come back, I think.
They don't even know the transfer window's open, boys.
Yeah, not yet.
You know what I mean? It's like we got to sell.
They'll know when we get Madison.
We need some players. You know, got any money?
Scotty, RJ, what do you reckon?
Shock one?
Once we take Madison, Leicester could be a shout.
Shout, eh?
We're taking Tielemans, mate. We're taking Tielemans.
Yeah, no, I'm with Rob. I'd say Saints.
Southampton.
They'd be a shock for me.
Yep.
Yeah.
You?
Me, do you know, I do like the Wolves. I think I said Wolves last season might be a shock to go down.
I'd happily have them go down. They're like a Burnley for me. Can't stand watching them.
And a shock team to maybe break into that top 6, top 4 even. We haven't really touched on Newcastle, but is Newcastle a team that
Not
yet.
have they shown anything so far?
Maybe West Ham.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a shock. They finished
They
finished 1 point behind us last year.
Aston Villa would be a team.
Aston Villa is the show I was going to say. For
and maybe Everton.
And
maybe Everton can shock everyone.
Yeah,
maybe Brentford.
And our first manager to get sacked.
Yeah, I'm going to go the
We'll go
obvious
to the
one.
Arsenal boys first. No. Let's keep it to the look. Obviously, top 6. No other manager will probably leave unless it's Conte walks or Arteta gets sacked. Let's be
Are you
honest.
talking about like who we think or who would be a surprise?
Just who we think.
Who we think?
Top 6 will be Arteta or Conte will leave.
Ooh, okay, we're going top 6 managers.
Yeah, because otherwise
I was gonna
it's
say
going to be Eddie Howe, Scotty Parker.
I think Thomas Tuchel. I have bad vibes about Chelsea this year, man.
He's been waiting.
He looks under pressure, Thomas Tuchel.
You know what will happen? He'll end up being right. We'll end up finish 6th and still
Clip
in the
it.
Champions League. And like what we did in 2012, just add another
Oh,
Champions
well,
League.
who's yours? You can say Arteta, get me back.
No, honestly, I don't think. But if I don't think it'll be outside the top 6, I even think it could be Brendan Rodgers.
Yep.
So the- good-
I
good
said
shout.
Rodgers last year. You guys said I was crazy.
Well, yeah,
I was with you. I was with you.
I said it last year.
No, but
It's
now
the
I'm
hat-trick of
saying,
Rodgers.
after what I've
Steve?
seen, he's on
They've
knife's
picked-
edge for me.
They've picked the 2 fucking managers that have been in my head. I swear to God. But I'm thinking more Tuchel, but not because Tuchel is going to get sacked because
He's under pressure. There's no doubt about
but
it.
he's under. But I think he's going to get. If he does get the sack, it's not going to be his fault. It's going to be your owner's fault. For
I
not
wouldn't
fucking
want to
giving
get
him
rid of
back.
him because no one better at the moment.
Wrapping it up, it's Stevie G.
Oh, that's a shame.
Oh, you're
We're
slipping.
leaving
He's
it
slipping.
there.
Keep
We're leaving it
slipping.
there. Boys.
Gerard to eat a
It's
dick.
been a preview. What a way to end it. Kev has finally said the correct word that we all wanted to hear. He's gonna slip it up.
He gets a prize.
He's out of here. First one to get sacked. Aussie Gooner, KG, thanks for joining me. The boys from It's a Football Thing, great collab. Thanks for coming down.
Pleasure.
And
Thanks for
hopefully
having
there's
us.
more collabs
Appreciate it, boys.
this season. And I'll see you guys on Thursday. Make sure you go check their channel out. It's a Football Thing on YouTube, Instagram, and all that sort of stuff. Aussie Gooner, if you want, give him a bit of banter.
Like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Guys.